Let's talk Steelers camp. The first weekend at Saint Vincent had a little bit of everything: weather delays, scorching heat, competitive 7 shots, and early signs that Aaron Rodgers is settling in fast. Friday's session opened with the team's first 7 shots drill. Rookie Zach Frazier fired a low snap that slipped through Rodgers' hands, a rare miscue that normally would end in a defensive win. But Mike Tomlin, always the competitor, kept the play alive, and the offense responded. On the next snap, Rodgers delivered a dart to DK Metcalf for 6. A back shoulder attempt on the third rep didn't connect. Mason Rudolph then stepped in and went 1 for 2, including a touchdown to Scotty Miller. Rookie Will Howard finished off with a touchdown of his own to J.J. Galbraith. That made it 4-3 for the defense, until Tomlin called for a do-over. He reset the drill and brought out the ones for a winner-take-all snap. Frazier's snap was perfect, Rodgers released instantly, and Pat Freiermuth caught a walk-in touchdown. Offense takes the final rep, and the drill, 5-3. That's when lightning rolled in and practice got cut short. Tomlin addressed the delay afterward, saying the team doesn't run from adversity, they embrace it. Whether it's a weather delay in Latrobe or a game day lightning storm like they had against Dallas last season, the message was the same: adjust and keep working. Rodgers did just that. Earlier in the day, he handled pressure drills with total command, changing arm angles, getting the ball out on screens to Metcalf and Caleb Johnson. He looked like a guy in control. The Steelers also signed veteran safety Chuck Clark, adding more depth and competition to the secondary. Clark's a former Raven with a reputation as a communicator and hard-nosed pro. Tomlin said it had nothing to do with who he used to play for. It's about familiarity, character, and football intelligence. Clark joins a safety room that already includes Juan Thornhill, Deshaun Elliott, and Miles Killebrew. Now let's move to Saturday. Tomlin wanted more adversity, so he moved practice to the hottest part of the day. And man, did Mother Nature deliver. With a heat index of 101 and no shade on the field, Saturday was brutal, but valuable. Tomlin said the heat revealed who could push through the fatigue and keep sharp under pressure. In 7 shots, it was déjà vu. Another bad snap from Frazier ended the first rep early, but Rodgers quickly bounced back with touchdowns to Metcalf and Darnell Washington. Rudolph had to throw one away under pressure, and his second attempt was caught but ruled out of bounds. Will Howard came in and threw a touchdown to Galbraith to tie things at 3-3. Tomlin sent the ones back out again. Rookie Derrick Harmon batted Rodgers' pass at the line. Defense wins 4-3 and ties the series at 1-1. Saturday also featured some standout performances from the punters. Cameron Johnston, returning from injury, boomed a few punts 60-plus yards. Corliss Waitman held his own as well. That battle might be more competitive than people think. Chuck Clark made a strong first impression with a pass breakup against Roman Wilson. Dante Kent picked off Will Howard, and Jalen Ramsey closed practice by intercepting Rodgers after a few drops from the offense. Tomlin rested some vets, Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, and Darius Slay, to get reps for guys like Yahya Black, Derrick Harmon, and Brandon Echols. OLB Jeremiah Moon left with a calf injury, but otherwise no major concerns. On Sunday, the acclimation period came to a close. No lightning, no extreme heat, just football. Rodgers started hot again in 7 shots, hitting Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth for easy touchdowns. One pass to Metcalf was dropped. Rudolph's series was shaky. Max Hurleman dropped one, and then Darius Slay picked off a fade to Darnell Washington. Will Howard tied the drill with a TD to Evan Hull. On the deciding play, Rodgers couldn't find a window and the ball fell incomplete. Another win for the defense, and the weekend ends with the defense up 2-1 in the 7-shot series. Yahya Black swatted down 2 more passes from Rudolph. Tomlin said it's a skill the Steelers value highly, pointing to guys like Cam Hayward and Keanu Benton who thrive at it. Black flashed the same ability at Iowa, and it's already showing up here. The QB order stayed consistent: Rodgers, then Rudolph. The third spot is still rotating between Howard and Skylar Thompson. One matchup to keep an eye on once the pads go on: Kenneth Gainwell versus Peyton Wilson. Tomlin said that duel in coverage is one to watch. Gainwell is improving as a route runner, and Wilson's trying to become dominant in that space. Tuesday, the pads go on, and that's when blitz pickup and pass protection evaluations get real. Caleb Johnson's a name to watch. He's been putting in the work, but as Tomlin said, until the pads are on, it's an incomplete evaluation. Injury-wise, Montana Lemonius Craig and Broderick Jones left Sunday's practice with soft tissue injuries. Both are considered day-to-day. TEDJ Thomas Jones may be dealing with something more serious, and we'll likely hear more about it next practice. Dylan Cook stepped in at left tackle for Jones and held his own, but Tomlin isn't setting anything in stone yet. So that wraps up the acclimation phase. Rodgers looks sharp. The defense is making big plays. The heat and weather brought adversity, and the team responded. Now it's time to see who thrives when the contact gets real. Here we go.